You know that feeling when your sentences are just kind of clunky? Or when you're struggling to find that exact, precise word to capture what you really mean? Well, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're building a brand new linguistic toolkit. We've drawn this straight from editorial analysis, and it's going to instantly elevate your everyday communication, from high-level vocabulary all the way to some really imaginative idioms. So let's dive right in. Our starting point today comes directly from daily editorial headlines. Now, to be clear, these aren't obscure words from some dusty old dictionary, right? These are dynamic, active words that top journalists use every single day to describe our modern world. And mastering them? It absolutely upgrades your ability to articulate complex thoughts on the fly.
Okay, here's our roadmap for The Explainer. First up, we'll cover advanced vocabulary essentials. Second, the power of one word. Third, navigating phrasal verbs. And we will wrap up with sun and moon idioms. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, Advanced Vocabulary Essentials, the building blocks. Let's see how these core words lay a really solid foundation for expressing some pretty complex situations.
We're going to start off briskly with the word awry. It simply means not in the right way or going wrong. And honestly, it is the perfect, concise word to drop when plans just totally fall apart. I mean, instead of rambling on about how things, didn't meet expectations, you just say, well, our plans went awry. It's sharp, it's immediate, and it gets the point across.
Now, when things go awry in an official capacity, it often escalates into our next word, malfeasance. This literally means wrongdoing or misconduct. So we're not talking about a simple everyday mistake here. This is a heavy-hitting word. It's reserved for serious professional corruption, the exact kind of stuff you see called out in those hard-hitting editorial headlines.
And think about this. If that malfeasance continues unchecked, it might just beleaguer a community. To beleaguer someone is to trouble or pressure them persistently. It evokes this intense feeling of being completely bogged down. You can totally imagine a town beleaguered by economic issues, right? Or maybe a leader beleaguered by endless scandals.
What's really fascinating is how we can group these heavier concepts together to describe extreme situations. Take fiefdom. That describes a domain strictly controlled by one person. People actually use it quite a bit today to criticize a micromanaged corporate department. Then there's jingoism, which is extreme or totally blind patriotism. And finally, Holocaust, representing large-scale destruction or loss. These are weighty, serious words that add immense gravity to whatever you're describing.
Rounding out this essential toolkit, we have some highly specific terms. Inextricably describes bonds that just cannot be separated. Think of two inextricably linked economies. On a totally different note, coquettishly means acting in a playful or teasing manner. To outmaneuver someone, that means defeating them through really clever tactics, rather than just brute force. And promulgation is the formal, official announcement of a new law. These four words alone show the massive range you're adding to your vocabulary.
Moving on to Section 2, the power of one word, say more with less. This is all about the absolute efficiency of saying much more but using far fewer words.
You see, this section is fundamentally about swapping out those clunky, long-winded sentences for precision strike words. Because mastering vocabulary, it isn't just about sounding smart. It's actually about sheer efficiency. Why use 8 words when one perfect word does the exact same job, right?
Look at how incredibly efficient this is. Instead of awkwardly explaining that the local authorities assembled a temporary police force, you just say they assembled a posse. Instead of describing a strong and fast-moving stream of public criticism, you call it a torrent. And rather than saying a person presenting a television program, you just call them an anchor. It completely cleans up the clutter in your sentences.
For our final substitute word, imagine you're trying to describe a large number of fish swimming together. Swap all of that out and just say, a large shoal of fish moved in perfect coordination. Using the word shoal instantly paints this incredibly mesmerizing picture. It saves space, but it actually sharpens the image in your listener's mind at the same time.
Okay, let's hit Section 3, Navigating Phrasal Verbs, Conversational Nuance. Here we're going to explore what is literally the lifeblood of natural, fluent English.
The trick to sounding like a native speaker is understanding how simple, everyday words combine to create entirely new meanings. Take the verb fix and the preposition up. Put them together, and fix up means to repair or renovate. Saying, my neighbors are fixing their house up sounds infinitely more conversational and relaxed than saying they are currently remodeling their residence.
And just notice how the simple verb get completely transforms depending on the tiny little word attached to it. If you're struggling to translate a joke, well, you're trying to get humor across. Working 2 jobs to build your savings, you're trying to get ahead. And if you're wondering about someone's relationship with their sister, you ask if they get along. That's 3 totally different scenarios, all from one core verb. It's a real game changer.
Let's move to Section 4, Sun and Moon Idioms, Colorful Expression. This is our final section, and we're going to use celestial bodies to inject some really vivid imagery into our speech.
What's super interesting here is the active, expansive nature of our sun idioms. The sun represents energy, right? It represents opportunity. Make hay while the sun shines means taking full advantage of a fleeting, good situation. Everything under the sun covers, well, everything imaginable. And if you say the sun never sets on something, you're describing an entity that's so massive, it's globally ongoing. They are just really bright, big-picture phrases.
In sharp contrast, though, our moon idioms capture the impossible, the difficult, or the outright absurd. If you are pursuing an impossibly difficult goal, you are chasing the moon. And if someone tries to sell you a ridiculous, untrue story, you might say the moon is made of green cheese, just to highlight how absurd it is. It's genuinely fascinating how our language uses these 2 celestial bodies to communicate such completely opposite human experiences.
So take a step back and look at this massive new toolkit we've built today. From heavy hitters like malfeasance to super efficient substitutes like torrent, all the way to those expansive sun idioms. I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Which specific word or phrase are you going to deliberately use to get your ideas across today? Seriously, don't let this knowledge sit idle. Try it out. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep explaining the world around you.